In this video today, we are going to talk about how to use AI primers to plan your next video. Now, you might be thinking, what the heck is an AI primer? So, one of the things like right now with AI, it's a very powerful tool. The key with AI though is when you use AI, it does not know what to give as an output unless you tell it. So, let me kind of give you a little bit of a background of how that works. So, when you're going out there, we know that telling your story is one of the most powerful things that you can do in marketing. People relate to stories. They relate to our personal story. They relate to our personal our personal transformation stories, our personal stories of hardship, our personal stories of victory where we've overcome things. People resonate with that. You guys have heard the term before, stories sell and facts tell. Stories are incredibly powerful when you are out there in the marketplace bringing value to the marketplace. So, one of the things that if you want to use AI to create content, namely video, I'm real big on video and planning videos. One of the things that you need is you need to be able to give ChatGPT or whatever AI tool you're using, you need to be able to give it the information on your story. Essentially, we need to let AI know what's going on in our brain. Now, I'm not saying hook your brain up and download it in. Of course, that's impossible right now. But the point is that we need to give some of the relevant pieces of our story to AI to prime it so that it can use that in your planning for your videos. So you know where to work that in. So one of the things that I encourage my students to create is a story primer. And a story primer is in essence, it's where you either write out your story in great detail, or you can do it very simply by getting on video and just talking for 30 to 40 minutes to an hour, however long it takes for you to tell your story. Now, I think you should go from your childhood all the way up to present day as much as you can recollect, as much as you can think about, because the more you work that in to video, then what you can do is you can take that video, create the transcript from it using a tool like Descript, or if you want, once you create a video, you can upload it to YouTube and set it to unlisted, and then you can pull the transcript out of YouTube and use that transcript as a primer. Now, when I say a primer, when you go to ChatGPT or some other AI tool, you can attach that file that you create with your story and ask AI to reference your story with whatever it is that you want to, create. So if you're going to create a long form Facebook post, you can say, here's my story. I want to talk about this topic. Work my story into this post. And it'll reference that primer that you gave it and it'll work that in. I do this all the time when I'm planning videos, when I'm planning other content, blog posts, whatever. But in this case, you can use it for video. So you want to create what I call a story primer. And that is things about your life that are relevant. Now, you don't have to tell everything. I mean, I'm not sitting here saying that you need to divulge every negative thing in your life, but I will tell you that sometimes those negative things that have happened in our lives are actually great stories of victory that other people can relate to. So you want to try to work that into your content. So create a story primer so that you can use that when you go to create content using ChatGPT or other AI tools. Okay. The second primer that you should create, if you want to work it into your videos specifically and content in general, is what I call your offer primer or your irresistible offer primer. This is where you create a primer or a document of some sort, a PDF. I usually use PDFs. You create a document, turn it into a PDF, and you have it all about your offer. What is your product all about? Are you in a skincare? Do you promote skincare products? Do you promote affiliate products? Do you promote your own products? What is it that you promote? Get as much information about that onto a document, the benefits of it, maybe cost, certain things like that. As much information as you can get it into a document about your product. Now, if you're an affiliate for something, or you're a network marketer and you are, you're promoting someone else's product, maybe your company's product. A lot of times you can get product information right on the website. They have the specs about a product. They have all the benefits of it. You could take that, copy and paste it into a document so that you have an offer primer that you can then add to AI, so that now we can go over to ChatGPT or our AI tool and say, hey, I need to create a video plan about this topic. I want you to work my story in there, parts of my story that you feel relevant. And also I want you to reference lightly my offer in the plan or whatever. And you attach those two files to your prompt, and it will pull the information from those primers and work it into the copy. Does that make sense? All right, so let's go on to number 3. The number 3 primer that we want is our avatar primer. Okay, so that's 3. We have our story, we have our offer, and our avatar. And of course, your avatar primer is your audience. Who are you serving? What are their pain points? What are they struggling with? What do they need help with? These are the things that we truly want to focus on. It's our story, our offer, and our avatar, and how it relates to our avatar. You create these 3 primers, so when you go to ChatGPT or your other AI tools, you use these primers, you attach them to a prompt, and you ask it to reference those and create your content with it. Now, some of the questions I get often are, well, what if I have more than one offer? So create an offer primer for each one of those offers. Okay. And then what can happen is, whenever you want to make a post or an email or a blog post or some type of video, you can use the relevant primer for whatever it is you want to talk about. But you essentially want to create multiple offer primers over time. I wouldn't suggest trying to do that all at once. Do it a little bit at a time, but then you can use that when you're going to create your videos. Okay. So just to recap, we need 3 AI primers to plan our videos. Okay. We have our story primer, which is all your story, things that have happened in your life, good and bad. You don't have to share all the details, but it's great to be able to share your story. Number 2, we have our offer primer. And again, you can have multiple primers, but this is to give ChatGPT or AI a context of what our video is to be about, and it can pull relevant information from that. And then our 3rd primer is our avatar primer. And that is all about your audience and who you serve. Okay. So we want to create those 3, and you really only need to create them one time. Once you've created it, it's done. Now you can use that file, save it on your computer in a folder somewhere, so that when you go over to ChatGPT or other AI tools, you can attach them when necessary, or when you need that worked into your plan. Okay. So I hope that helps you a little bit. If this did help you, leave me a comment below and let me know your thoughts. Any other primers you can think about? I'd love to know about them. Appreciate you. Have a great day.